Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be explaining to you why I believe that Bitcoin is about to break through all-time high between the dates of July 15th and July 30th. That's right. I think in just a little over a week, you are going to see Bitcoin trading above $112,000. And today I am going to share with you exactly why I believe that is going to happen. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on in to some charts. I've got a lot to talk about today, guys, but the very first thing I want to let you know is that the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy is back. That's right. For any of you guys who have been watching the channel for a long time, you know that CT2A is our very own proprietary course that's been in service for almost 7 years and has 5,000 students. And today I realized something. I realized that the annual pricing model that we had on CT2A was not doing its service. You know why? Because in the cryptocurrency space, people want sovereignty. They want to be able to own something. So I decided to change the pricing model of CT2A back to lifetime access. And today, that has come. CT2A right now is selling for $5.99, but as a commemorative welcome back for CT2A, it is actually under discount as well. If you use coupon code JEBB20, JEBB20, you can get CT2A for 20% off. That's going to bring the price down to about $480, and you're going to get access to over 60 videos teaching you and thousands of other students how to succeed in the cryptocurrency space. All of your favorite technical indicators, all of your favorite concepts about how to succeed in cryptocurrency are here, so make sure to sign up right now using coupon code JEBB20, JEBB20. And by the way, the same thing is true for the Financial Sovereignty Academy, our Personal Finance Academy. No longer is it going to be a annual pricing point at $104. Instead, it is a full lifetime access at $299, and JEB20, JEBB20 also applies to the Financial Sovereignty Academy. So make sure to check that out down below. But let's go ahead and jump onto some charts. We got a bunch to cover today. As you can see, this is going to be a bit of a long video. Let's get started by zooming in on the 1 hourly chart. Bitcoin is witnessing a major uptrend right now, and it has everything to do with this specific symmetrical triangle pattern. That's right. There's one tiny little pattern that is dictating everything on Bitcoin right now. We have a couple of important levels of resistance here at about 110 and also up here at about 112. We also have support down here at exactly $100,000, and Bitcoin has more or less been ranging between $100,000 and $112,000 for the last several months. But something happened after the United States bombed Fordo, Nasfahan, and Natanz in Iran towards the end of the 12-day conflict between Israel and Iran. Bitcoin not only bounced off of $100,000 with great enthusiasm, Bitcoin also had another corrective movement and bounced off of 105. Whereas before the conflict between Iran and Israel, Bitcoin was bouncing between 100 and 112. After the conflict between Israel and Iran, after this point in time, you can see that Bitcoin is trading between 105 and 110. Two things to note here. Number one, the volatility has decreased. This becomes apparent when you look at the 3 daily chart Bollinger Bands. The volatility on Bitcoin has dramatically decreased. Very low volatility, indicating a major breakout is coming. We're going to get to more on the 3 daily chart in a minute, but I want to go back to the hourly chart for a second. If we look at the hourly chart also, though, you can see that over the last 12 hours, Bitcoin has broken bullish out of this symmetrical triangle pattern, and it's moving up to test $110,000. In fact, this level of resistance at about 109.6 is where we're testing right now, and all Bitcoin has to do is break through about $109,600 to complete this cup and handle formation. This cup and handle formation gives us a price target, as you can see right here, up towards approximately 110,000. If we are then able to break up to 110,600, the local high that we set on the 3rd of July last week, then Bitcoin will continue along its trajectory of validating this massive inverse head and shoulders pattern here that we have on the hourly chart, which gives us a price target up towards about $125,000. We can see that if we draw our inverse head and shoulders pattern right here by grabbing our inverse head and shoulders pattern drawing. I think it's right. Where is it? I always draw it the old-fashioned way. Let's see. Right there. If we draw our inverse head and shoulders pattern right here, just like this, that gives us an IH&S just like that. And that gives us a price target up here, approximately, if we extrapolate that off of 112, approximately up to $125,000. So that's an extremely bullish price target, but there's a lot more to cover. So let's keep going here. Out on the 3-daily chart, we've got extremely bullish signals coming out of the RSI. 3-daily chart RSI could not be looking better. As you can see, the 14 interval moving average on the 3-daily chart RSI is actually starting to curve up. And you can also see here that 3-daily chart RSI is only at 62. That means that there's a lot more room to run. Bitcoin is not overextended at 1095. No, Bitcoin's going to have to go up to 125 to 130 to get overextended on the RSI. And we know that we're still in an uptrend because you're basically in an Elliott wave ABC movement right here. A, B, C. We're in the middle of the B corrective phase, which is what we're seeing happen out here on the daily, out here on the 3-daily chart price action. Also, you're in the B corrective wave with the C movement coming soon. This is one massive bull flag that Bitcoin finds itself in. And the same thing shows up on the daily chart RSI. If you look at the daily chart RSI, you can see the last few times that Bitcoin rallied up to its all-time high and went through a major correction like what we saw in January, you saw RSI get up here to 82. If you look at the comparison here, this 82 movement on RSI corresponded with us hitting the all-time high and then having a 30-something% corrective movement. We have not seen that happen at this point in time, especially if you look at the 3-daily chart. You have not seen the blow-off top RSIs up here at, 82 or 88. No, you only saw RSI briefly go to 72. That doesn't look like this movement is over. Instead, that looks like this is a middle movement, corrective movement, this sideways trading that we're witnessing right here. And that stands to reason with everything else I'm going to show you today as well. We've already shown you on the 3-daily chart how the Bollinger Bands are extremely constricted. But I also want to show you how the 20 interval moving average is coming into play here. If we look at the 20 interval moving average, you're going to see that out on the 3-daily chart, we are bouncing off of it. We're not correcting and falling beneath it. No, in fact, we are currently having a very powerful bounce off of it in a similar way that we saw before we broke our last all-time high. Remember, guys, we're not really below the all-time high that we set a couple of weeks ago. We're actually mainly below the January-February all-time high. Now, this was 109, this was 112, but if you account for inflation, they're basically the same high. We're basically sitting under a double top here. But instead of dropping 30% when we hit it, we drop 5 to 10% when we hit it. Shows the bullish strength. But as we were approaching $73,000 beforehand, back in the 2024 high, January and February 2024 high, we had several back tests down to the 20 interval moving average. You can see 3 of them right here. Well, that's exactly what we're doing right now. Before we hit the all-time high at 112, we're having a back test and then a second one. Maybe worst case scenario, we get another back test down to 105, whatever. The 3-daily chart 20 interval moving average is sitting at $105,000. How incredible is that? The 20 interval moving average on the 3-daily chart is sitting at $105,000. That means on average in the last 60 days, Bitcoin's average price is approximately $105,000. People have come to understand that $100,000, 6 figures, is the new normal for Bitcoin. This is a really big deal. This gives us confidence that a major breakout is coming soon. So where am I getting this July figure from? We've got other technicals I want to show you, but I just want to kind of break down this July 15th to July 31st metric. About 2 months ago, when we started breaking up here, back around the time of the conference, I made a prediction that Bitcoin would break all-time high above 112 on July 15th. That is 6 days from now. So I want to revisit that prediction. Is that still something I stand by? I said specifically on stream about a month and a half to 2 months ago that we would break all-time high, 112, around the dates of July 15th to my 8th anniversary in crypto. I discovered Bitcoin in 2017 on July 31st. So between the dates of July 15th and July 31st, I predict that Bitcoin's going to break above 112. That's our prediction from about 45 to 60 days ago. Let's see if that holds water. And if so, where's Bitcoin going to go? Well, on the 4-hourly chart, if we come here and just kind of draw what that would look like, that would be a breakout on Bitcoin between this vertical line and between this vertical line. Does that make sense? Well, if we remember that Bitcoin's building one massive inverse head and shoulders pattern, then we kind of want to compare the sizes here, right? This left shoulder, depending on where exactly you draw everything, was between 60 and 90 days large. That's basically what we're building over here. From where we broke above $100,000 to today is about 60 days. About 90 days would put you right around July 30th to July 31st, moving into the first couple of weeks of August. I expect, therefore, that the left side of this inverse head and shoulders pattern is going to end up being approximately the same size as the right side of the inverse head and shoulders pattern, which gives us a breakout target time of between July 15th and July 31st, with maybe some spillover into the beginning week or two of August, worst worst case scenario. But at this point in time, it looks to me like a breakout is coming very soon. And a big part of the reason for that is because Bitcoin is not just finding itself comfortable at $100,000 anymore. Bitcoin's not finding itself comfortable at $90,000. No, Bitcoin's getting really, really comfortable at 110. Bitcoin is spending a lot of time up here above $100,000, above 105. Soon, Bitcoin's going to be comfortable spending time above 110. And then what comes next? 120, 130, 140, 150. Friends, $100,000 Bitcoin is now the floor price. I need you to understand this. This is a new era for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's floor price at this point is 100K. I'm not saying we never go below $100,000 again, but what I am saying is that Bitcoin does not like being below $100,000. And anytime that you ever see Bitcoin below $100,000 in the future is a phenomenal entry. In the same way that after Bitcoin went to $20,000, any entry below $10,000 was a great entry. And if you fast forward 7-8 years to where we are now, anything below $10,000, oh my goodness, you're up over 10x. You're probably up 15, 20x from those kind of entries. And when you fast forward another 7 to 8 years, you're going to see the exact same thing. Any entry below 100,000 that you may or may not get is an incredible entry compared to the 500 to $1 million to $5 million per coin that we're going to see on Bitcoin when you fast forward 10, 15, 20 years. So I personally believe that we're about to break out above all-time high, and that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. That's going to look a little something like this. You're probably going to come up here and test it, and then over the next couple of weeks, you're going to be moving up with a test of 125 coming most likely over here. Let's go ahead and draw a rectangle. A test of 125, let's say 118 to 125 is most likely to happen sometime between July 31st and August 31st. I believe that you're going to see Bitcoin trading in this box, and we're going to go ahead and take a screenshot of that a little bit later and put it on Twitter. So stay tuned. Go follow me at CryptoJeb. We're going to put that on Twitter. I personally believe that sometime in the month of August, you're going to see Bitcoin trading between $118,000 and $125,000, which gives you a great setup for a investment and for a trade. Personally, I see this being an excellent opportunity for a long, which is why I'm in a 10x leverage long position right now with a liquidation below $98,000. I believe that Bitcoin is going to more than double my investment on that trade because we're going to move at least 10 to 15% to the upside. So I'm very excited about that trade. Going to be showing you guys more about that as time goes on. I'm going to show you where that trade is. But one last final point of why I think that's going to happen is this. I think the MACD is ridiculously bullish. If you look at the daily chart, let me give you an example here. If you look at the daily chart, actually, let's look at the 3 daily chart. I think that'd be a little bit better. If you look at the 3 daily chart on Bitcoin, let's just go ahead and remove everything here and show you all of these crosses. Is it the 3 daily? I think it's the 3 daily. No, it's the weekly. I'm sorry. Let's look at the weekly chart MACD. The weekly chart MACD, I want to show you every time in this bull market so far that we've had a bullish cross, because we had a bullish cross back here on May the 5th of 2024. These vertical lines represent the points in time that we have seen bullish crosses, golden crosses on the weekly chart MACD. If you look on Bitcoin, you're going to see that they perfectly correspond with all 3 of the major rallies so far in this cycle. So shouldn't it stand to reason that we're about to see another one? Doesn't it stand to reason that we're about to see another major uptrend? Okay, so we've got this theory that Bitcoin is about to break through all-time high. But what we want to do is we want to compare that to the fundamentals. Does that make sense? Does this theory of Bitcoin breaking above all-time high between July 15th and July 31st and moving to $118,000 to $125,000 in the month of August, sometime between August 1st and August 31st, does that theory hold water? Well, let's look at it from the fundamental standpoint. Can the fundamentals poke any holes in that? No. There's so much accumulation going on. You're most likely seeing accumulation going on from at least a dozen major publicly traded companies right now. Strategy and all of their sister companies. GameStop is probably buying Bitcoin behind the scenes right now with the $10 billion of cash that they're sitting on, which will probably lead to a major rally on GameStop stock and also on Bitcoin coming in to Q3 after they have to do their disclosure. You're also seeing a plethora of other companies that we know are in Bitcoin buying lots of Bitcoin. This is public knowledge. We have the the exchange balance of Bitcoin massively crashing. The exchanges are almost out of Bitcoin. They don't have much more to sell. It's like at 100,000. It was at 400,000. It's in a direct nosedive. The supply is disappearing. A major supply shock is loading. And we also have a lot of people in the Trump administration, at the Securities and Exchange Commission, working on Wall Street, working in Fortune 500, talking about how the a vast majority of companies in the United States Fortune 500 are not anymore in the talks of whether or not they will buy Bitcoin. No, they're actually in talks about when they're going to buy Bitcoin. If you go back to some of our recent content, we talked about how Bitcoin is probably just going to go on to a major super cycle over the next 5 to 7 years as a result of the Bitcoin ETFs, and how we're looking at a minimum price of $300,000 per coin by 2030. The fundamentals absolutely back up another stair step up to the range of between $118,000 to $125,000, and from there, honestly, most likely like $135,000 to $140,000, maybe even $150,000 in this movement. You're about to see $1 trillion of market capitalization flow into Bitcoin, and I don't want you to miss out on that. So if you haven't already, make sure to get ready to make some investments. But I always say that the very best investment that anyone can ever make is an investment in themselves. And guys, that's why we created the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy in 2019 and have been updating it ever since. That's why 5,000 students have gone through CT2A over almost a decade history, and they've been learning from dozens and dozens of videos, tens of hours of content here in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, learning how to do technical analysis. If you want to learn how to do the kind of technical analysis that I just did in this video, so that you can have confidence for yourself and have peace and sleep at night and explain to your wife why you're buying so much Bitcoin, then I highly encourage you to sign up for CT2A, and you can get it today, 20% off, using coupon code JEB20. That's JEBB20. Now, if you're trying to figure out how to get your personal finances in order, I also highly recommend the Financial Sovereignty Academy, because that is our personal finance course where I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about personal finances, following the 10-step process that we call the Financial Sovereignty Way. This is what we used to get out of debt, break generational curses, and have peace so that we could sleep at night and be prepared for emergencies. This course is $299. You can get it for 20% off. That's $60 off, or about $239, using coupon code JEB20, JEBB20, with the links in the description box down below. Highly recommend Financial Sovereignty Academy. It has some amazing content, and there's a lot more content coming to that pretty soon. Now, the last thing I want to mention is a sale that we have right now going on with 2Bit. 2Bit is an exchange partner that we're using, and you're not going to want to miss out on this one. You can get up to $30,000 in rewards when you sign up for 2Bit right now, but only for the next 5 to 6 days or so. This is only going to last about a week. If you sign up with 2Bit using our link, you're immediately going to get $50. After you trade your first 1,000 USDT on perps, perpetual futures, you're going to double that up to 100 USDT. And when you deposit your first $100, you're going to get $30 for free. So out the gate, in about 10 minutes, you can make $130 just by signing up for 2Bit. And then if you do some trading, such as opening a big leverage long on this movement up to 125, like I'm doing, then you can actually earn up to $30,000 in rewards after you make some trades, just by depositing some money and making some trades. Depending on how much you deposit and how much you trade, you'll get a bigger and bigger and bigger reward. So if you have not already, make sure to sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Make sure to sign up for the Financial Sovereignty Academy, and also make sure to sign up for 2Bit and get access to all the discounts that we have going on right now and all the promotions that 2Bit is running. You're not going to regret any of those purchases, and you're not going to regret signing up for 2Bit. I highly recommend checking all of that out. That will be the first, second, and third link in the description box down below. If you love today's video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tune in at 4 o'clock Eastern every single day for this video in your subscription feed to help you understand where Bitcoin's going and how to make as much money in this market as possible. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching. As always, I love you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.